My beloved child, I see you driving down that long, endless stretch of highway, the glow of the dashboard illuminating the weariness in your eyes as the midnight radio plays softly in the background. You live in a land so vast, a place built on the promise of the open road, the pursuit of happiness, and the deeply ingrained belief that if you just work hard enough, run fast enough, and strive long enough, you will eventually build a kingdom of your own. You have been told since you were young to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, to be the rugged individual, the self-made soul who needs no one else to weather the storm. You have bought into the myth of the relentless hustle, pouring your sweat into the foundation of the American dream, measuring your worth by the hours you clock, the titles you hold, the house you own, and the quiet accumulation of things that were never meant to satisfy a human heart. And yet, in the quiet spaces between your busy days, when the city traffic hums in the distance and the screen of your phone finally goes dark, I hear the sigh that escapes your lips. I feel the heavy exhaustion that settles deep into your bones. You are so tired, my child. You are tired of running a race that seems to have no finish line, tired of trying to prove your value in a culture that only ever asks, "What's next?" Tired of smiling through the ache of an empty and depleted spirit. But I am here to tell you, in the deepest, quietest room of your soul, that you do not have to carry this burden alone anymore. I did not create you to be a machine of constant production. I did not breathe my holy breath into your lungs just so you could spend your days drowning in anxiety over a mortgage ladder or the carefully curated lives of your neighbors on a glowing screen. My grace is not something you can earn with a 40-hour work week or a spotless resume. It is a free gift, waiting for you on the front porch of your heart, inviting you to simply lay down your heavy bags and come home. You look at the skylines of your great cities, those towering monuments of glass and steel reaching into the clouds, and you think that greatness is found in touching the sky through sheer human effort. But I look at you, and I see a masterpiece far more complex, far more beautiful than any city skyline you could ever build. I see the cracks in your foundation, the places where disappointment has weathered your hope, the dreams that foreclosed before they ever broke ground. You think those broken places make you less valuable, like an abandoned house left to decay on the outskirts of town. But in my eyes, your scars are the very places where my light enters. I am not the God of the perfect highlight reel. I am the God of the broken pieces, the God of the second chance, the God who meets you on the crowded subway train when tears are quietly falling down your face, the God who sits beside you on the edge of the bed when you don't know how you are going to pay the bills this month. You live in a nation that sings loudly of freedom, but I see how captive your heart truly is. You are held prisoner by the fear of falling behind, chained to the expectation that you must constantly reinvent yourself to stay relevant. You scroll through endless images of other people's victories, letting their outward success dictate your inward peace. But true freedom, the freedom I died to give you, is not found in financial independence, early retirement, or political liberty. True freedom is the absolute certainty that you are loved unconditionally, right here, right now, in the midst of your unfinished, messy story. You do not need to be wealthy to sit at my table. You do not need to have your life perfectly put together to fall into my arms. Look at the land around you, and you will see the rhythms of my grace written into the earth itself. Look at the Grand Canyon, carved deep into the rock. It was not formed in a single day by a sudden explosion of power, but by the slow, patient, persistent flow of a river over thousands of years. In the same way, my healing in your life is often a quiet, steady stream, wearing away the sharp edges of your bitterness, carving out a deep reservoir for my peace. Look at the vast wheat fields of the heartland, bowing under the fierce wind. They do not rigidly resist storm. They bend with it, rooted deep in the rich soil, knowing that the rain the storm brings is the very thing they need to grow and yield a harvest. Stop fighting the seasons of waiting in your life. Stop believing that a delayed dream is a denied destiny. Just as the harsh, freezing winters of the Midwest strip the oak trees down to their bare branches, making them look almost dead to the cold world, I sometimes allow seasons of stripping in your life. I let the false comforts fall away. I let the illusions of control wither and drop to the ground like dead leaves. But that winter is not your grave. It is the necessary hibernation where your roots are forced to dig deeper into me, searching for the living water that does not freeze beneath the frost. And when my appointed spring arrives, you will bloom with a resilience that the easy, sun-drenched days of summer could never have taught you. I know you feel the intense pressure to always be strong, to never let them see you sweat, to be the unshakable pillar that everyone else leans on. You have swallowed the cultural lie that asking for help is a sign of weakness, that relying on another is a failure of character. But my word says that my power is made perfect in your weakness. When you finally stop trying to hold your world together with your own exhausted hands, when you finally fall to your knees in the privacy of your room and whisper, "Father, I can't do this anymore," that is not the moment of your defeat. That is the moment of your rescue. That is the moment you step off the exhausting treadmill of self-reliance and fall into the gentle, carrying current of my grace. I remember the days you sat in your car in the driveway, gripping the steering wheel, unable to go inside because you felt you had absolutely nothing left to give to your family. I was sitting right beside you in that heavy silence. I remember the time you lost that job you built your entire identity around, walking out of the building with a cardboard box full of your belongings, feeling like your entire future had been erased in a single afternoon. I was holding the doors open for your true future to begin. You thought the loss of that position was a demotion, but I was removing you from a room that was far too small for the calling I have placed on your life. Do not look at your closed doors with bitterness or regret. The things that fall from your hands when you choose to walk in my light are not lost blessings, they are heavy chains being broken. Seek first my kingdom, and all these other things will find their rightful, healthy place in your life. You do not need to hustle for your worth. You are my workmanship. You are the poetry I am writing into this noisy world. You are not a machine. You are not a market commodity, and you are not defined by your tax bracket. You are my beloved child. I see how you carry the wounds of your past. You live in a society that tells you to simply move on, to get over it, to bury your pain under toxic positivity and relentless forward momentum. But true healing does not come from ignoring the wound or working so hard that you forget it is there. It comes from bringing it into the light. I know the people who betrayed you, the ones who promised they would stay and then walked out the door, leaving you to pick up the pieces. I know the words that were spoken over you when you were young. Words that told you that you were not smart enough, not attractive enough, not talented enough to make it in this competitive world. You have worn those harsh words like a heavy winter coat, dragging them with you through every season of your life. But today, I am taking that coat from your shoulders. I am declaring that the judgments of flawed, broken people do not have the authority to name you. Only the Creator has the right to name His creation, and I call you chosen. I call you redeemed. I call you mine. When the accuser tries to remind you of your past mistakes, when the shadows of regret creep into your mind at 3 a.m, point them to my cross. Your debt is paid. The ledger is cleared. You do not have to spend the rest of your life trying to balance the scales of your own worthiness through endless striving. There is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in me. Stop punishing yourself for the things I have already forgiven. Stop walking through your days with your head bowed in shame, like a debtor who cannot look his creditor in the eye. I have torn up the contract of your failures. You are free. Live like someone who is truly free. And when I ask you to forgive those who have wronged you, I am not asking you to pretend the hurt didn't happen, nor am I asking you to invite toxic people back into your sanctuary. I am asking you to hand the scales of justice over to me so that your own hands can be free to receive my peace. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to your enemy. It is the key that unlocks your own prison cell. Do not let the bitterness of what they did to you become the poison that slowly kills your own joy. I know it is hard. I know the American instinct is to fight back, to defend your rights, to hire a lawyer, to make absolutely sure you get what is yours and that the other person pays. But my kingdom operates on an entirely different economy. The last shall be first. The meek shall inherit the earth. The one who loses his life for my sake will find it. When you lay down your right to vengeance, you pick up a peace that surpasses all human understanding, a peace that the world cannot give and the world cannot take away. And as you walk forward, I want you to fundamentally change the way you define success. The culture around you will tell you it is the square footage of your house, the logo on your car, the balance in your 401k, the number of followers attached to your name, the prestige of your zip code. But a century from now, none of those things will matter. The house will be lived in by strangers, the cars will rust in junkyards, the money will be spent and forgotten by others. What will echo into eternity is how deeply you loved, how freely you forgave, and how faithfully you trusted me in the dark. I am calling you to build a legacy of grace in a culture of greed. I am calling you to be a place of rest for others in a world that is running on empty. When you walk into a room carrying my peace, you bring the atmosphere of heaven into the chaos of earth. You become a living, breathing sanctuary for the broken people around you. You don't need a massive platform, a microphone, a viral video, or a best-selling book to change the world. You only need a willing, surrendered heart, a kind word spoken to the exhausted cashier at the grocery store, a patient ear given to a lonely neighbor sitting on their porch, a decision to act with integrity in your business when no one is watching and taking the shortcut would be so easy. These are the small, quiet revolutions that push back the darkness. You are the light of the world, a city set on a hill. Do not hide your light under a basket of insecurity or a fear of being judged. Let it shine. Let your brokenness be the stained glass through which my glory radiates, casting beautiful colors onto the lives of those who thought the world was only gray. Think of the long autumns in New England, how the great maple trees do not hold stubbornly to their dying leaves, but surrender them to the wind in a blaze of glorious color, trusting that they will be clothed anew in the spring. You too must learn the holy art of letting go. Letting go of the youth you are desperately trying to hold onto in a society obsessed with staying young. Letting go of the expectations of where you thought you would be in your career by this age. Letting go of the need to have the next 5 years of your life perfectly planned out. There is a profound, breathtaking beauty in surrender. Think of the great highway stretching across the desert plains of the Southwest. There are long stretches on that road where there is nothing but dust, heat, and absolute silence. You might feel like your life is in one of those desert stretches right now. You pray and hear only the wind. You look around and see only dry ground. But even in the desert, I am at work. The desert is not an empty place. It is a place of holy revelation. It is the place where I strip away the distractions of the city noise, where I remove the crutches you used to lean on, so that I can speak directly to your heart in the stillness. I led my people into the wilderness not to let them die, but to teach them how to trust me for their daily bread, to show them that man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from my mouth. Do not fear the quiet, lonely stretches of your journey. I am the oasis you are looking for. I am the shade from the scorching sun. I am the cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. There will still be hard days ahead. The economy will shift, the storms will come. The headlines will shout fear, division, and panic across your screens. But you do not have to live at the mercy of the evening news. Your citizenship is in heaven, and your anchor is set securely behind the veil. When the cultural winds blow and the foundations of society seem to tremble, you will not be shaken, because your foundation is built on the solid rock of my eternal word, not the shifting sands of human opinion or the volatile stock market of this fragile world. So tonight, when you walk through your front door and lay your head on your pillow, I want you to consciously, intentionally let go of the day. Let go of the emails you didn't answer. Let go of the expectations you didn't meet. Let go of the fear of what tomorrow might bring. I am already in tomorrow, preparing the way, waiting for you with mercies that are brand new every single morning. I have numbered your days, and I hold your future securely in the palm of my hand. Breathe in my grace, breathe out your striving. You are not a human doing, you are a human being, and being mine is entirely gloriously enough. Rest now, my beloved child. The hustle is over, the striving is finished, the heavy armor can be taken off. You are safe, you are fully known, and you are deeply loved with an everlasting love that no failure can diminish and no achievement can ever increase. Welcome home.